Hello, in this video I'm going to show you the amazing world of water drop photography. I'm going to show you how I created this amazing piece of art from concept right through to this print. Let's go! Hi, I'm Adam and welcome to First Man Photography. Now before we get into this video is sponsored by Squarespace. If you need a domain name, a website or an online store, then make your next move with Squarespace. Right, so water drop photography, what is it exactly? Well, what I'm talking about is capturing the moment that water hits the surface, bounces back up and creates that beautiful water drop stem. You then capture it at that moment and that creates a water drop photograph. The ones I do use an electronic dropper system that then create these amazing drop collisions and produce just stunning, unique shapes. You put food coloring into the water using color, contrast, composition, all to make these truly unique and special images. It's one of the things I'm best known for, and today I just wanted to go through a shoot with you, show how I do it, talk about a few things. I have done an in-depth tutorial before for you to watch if you want to give it a try. I just wanted to make a water drop video that I've not done for a while and take you through a typical shoot, and then show you a little bit of the post-processing and then the final print at the end. Okay, let's get set up and we'll get on with our shoot.
I can hear them talking so far away from the truth. You and me won't take notice of any smooth talk or bad vibes. Climbing up and you know it. You and me, we're staying alive.
Okay, so I'm pretty much set up to shoot. I'll just go through the setup pretty quickly. So firstly is the camera. You've pretty much got to have a macro lens. I've got the 100mm Canon macro L lens, Canon 5D Mark IV camera. It doesn't really matter what camera you use as long as you can get a macro lens on there. And then I have a 2 flash setup and I'm firing the flashes with a wireless trigger on top here. It's important to use flash in water drop photography because it's actually the flash that is freezing the movement in the water drop, because you put the flash on a very low power flash and it's that freezes the motion rather than the shutter speed of the camera. You just set the camera shutter speed to the flash sync speed, which in the case of this camera is 1/200th of a second, and then it's that fast flash that actually freezes that water drop. So I've got 2 flash set up. The first one in the front here, which is my main flash, that's going to be lighting up the water drop as it drops from the dropper here into the main water bath, and then I've got this second flash which is then lighting up the background. Aperture wise, I'm in the area of f8 to f16. I'm at f11 today, right in the middle. With macro you get a pretty narrow depth of field even at very high aperture numbers. So I'm at f11, I might go up to f16 in a bit, and then I'm balancing it out with my ISO, which is at about 400 ISO at the moment. The water dropper that I have here is called a Splash Art 2. It uses this little control box that plugs into the water dropper, and it also fires your camera, so the timing is as accurate as you can possibly be. It still takes a lot of adjustment and a lot of practice to get things just right and get it to work, and it depends on the liquids that you're using as well. Okay, so the final thing I need to do before I start shooting is get my focus. And in order to do that, all you do is fire a couple of drops off, and I'm going to use this simple pencil. Just dropped it in the water bath, but I'm going to use this pencil and just put that in position where the water drops hit the bath, and then I'm going to focus to get in exactly the right spot. I'm then going to lock it off into manual focus, and I can forget about my focus for the rest of the shoot. So this is absolutely not the case of just setting up and then firing away, because it just doesn't work. There is a lot of creativity involved. We're talking about slight movement in the flashes, because the way you light it is absolutely key. Because we're working on such a small scale, slight adjustments in anything, composition, lighting, the colour of the liquids, all makes a difference. With the water dropper, you can control the size of the first drop, the gap in between the drops, the size of the second drop, and the delay in shooting the camera. And it's about fine control over these things that are going to get those really nice water drop collisions. Trust me though, it's very frustrating at times. It doesn't always do what you want it to. It changes depending on the thickness of the liquid as well. You need patience and you need persistence. It does take a lot of practice and a lot of shots to get where you need to be. Okay, so the shoot is done. I'm pretty happy with what I've got in the camera. Let's get over to the computer and post-process those images. I do have the absolute carnage to clear up first though. Look at this. Very messy. Okay, so here we are into the computer. I've got myself some glasses recently. Do you like them? Let me know in the comments. Here we have the final images. I have taken about 270 images, but I have also already narrowed it down to a few and I've put them into a collection. They're all pretty nice. I like all of them. I like this one. I like the shape of it. But if you look at this bubble here, that really, really ruins that one. So I'm not going to be using that one. This one, I'm struck by this one just by the size of that collision. I really like that. And I also really like this one. Let's have a look at this one. That's a really nice image. It's a very, very unique shape. What I don't like about it is this strip here of light. And that's happened because of the way I had the flash positioned. It low down basically. And if you skip on to the next one here, I've just raised the flash up a little bit and it narrows this reflection of the flash down to this tiny little portion here. I think that's better. Although I am going to work with this one, I'm going to remove this strip in Photoshop. So let's go into the develop module, and you've got a lot of control in post-processing over your water drop shots, particularly with the color and things like that. And I'm actually quite happy with the white balance, but I'll just show you what a massive difference that makes to the images. And you can just make, from one shoot, you can get lots of different looking images with different colors. But I think we just need to raise the exposure a little bit, and then I'm going to add in some contrast. Sometimes you don't need a lot of contrast in there because that's not really what the image is about, but I'm going to add about 30. I'm then going to reduce the highlights a little bit, up the shadows just a touch, reduce the blacks a little bit till I've got a little bit of black. I'm going to increase the vibrance quite a bit, go up on the saturation as well because the whole thing is about color. And then the clarity slider is an important one. Just add in some clarity. Right, I'm going to go down to the HSL quickly and introduce some noise reduction because you want that nice smooth image and you don't want any noise in there. And then we will go to the HSL panel here and I want to just reduce or change the color of the red a little bit just so it doesn't look quite as much like blood. And that is starting to look really, really good. Okay, into Photoshop, and I'm just going to create a new layer and also clone the background there. And all I'm going to do is use the simple tool here, which is the magic wand tool. Select that highlighted area. Then I'm going to grab hold of the stamp tool on the background copy layer and just drag that to the side just a touch. And that will very nicely remove that reflected area. There's then just a little bit of work to do here. If I zoom in, I'm then going to go back up to layer, clone stamp, and just remove that tiny portion at the top there. I'll work on that a bit more before the print. And then it's just a case of going around and adjusting little bits and pieces where there's a mistake. So here we've got another one. I'm just going to try and clone that out or stamp that out very quickly. It's just about going around the whole image and tidying it up just a little bit with things like that. And that, I mean, that's looking pretty good. I might crop it down a little bit as well into that sort of composition just to get a bit closer to the water drop, get the water drop filling the screen a little bit more, save that, and then we go back into Lightroom. So very quick post-processing there. Let's get that printed out and we'll see how the final image looks.
Oh, you know you're beautiful, you're beautiful, and it's like you're untouchable, like you're untouchable. Don't you know you're beautiful, I'll sing until my lungs give out. but you're beautiful. Beautiful, baby. You're beautiful.
So here is the final image, and just take a look at this. It is absolutely stunning. If I can get it out of the light there for you, I am very happy with how this has turned out. All my waterdrop photographs are for sale on the website over at firstmanphotography.com. I would really appreciate it if you took a look. There are two types. There are ones like this that are either mounted or fully framed, and there's also amazing 1 meter square metal prints that are a run of 10. The prints are a run of 50, and they're truly something special once you get them in hand like this. It's coming up to Christmas. It'd be a perfect gift idea if you wanted to give one to a family member. It would help me as well and support me to keep creating these videos for free. I'd really just appreciate it though if you took a look. Check out that tutorial, and if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to the channel. There's videos going up every Sunday. I am going to be doing a video on Wednesday this week as well, so there'll be 2 videos coming up in the coming week. Which I'm quite excited about. I do want to go back to doing 2 videos per week. Also, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Start your free trial today at squarespace.com and go to squarespace.com/firstman to get 10% off your first purchase. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think, and I'll see you on another one very, very soon. I'm Adam. This is First Man Photography in the studio. Out.